Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today I've got this failed LED spotlight bulb. I think it's GU10. Yeah, that's right, GU10. So it's a GU10 bulb. This is not actually that old. It's probably about 2 years old. It's hanging sort of in a fixture behind me, so every time I'm in the workshop it would be on. But yeah, it failed. I got this at a dollar store. We're going to try to open it up and see what goes on the inside. Now, the big problem, don't know if you can hear that, this is made of ceramic. So I'm not actually sure if I'll be able to get the glass off of this. So I'm going to try a little bit. Doesn't seem to be any other fixations. Looks like these pins are pushed through. This is all one piece, and then this glass seems to be glued in place. So I'm going to try to lift the glass out, and if it takes too long, I'm just going to cut, and we're going to, use something like Clive's Vice of Knowledge, because, yeah, oh boy, that was scary. Is that ceramic? No, it might actually just be plastic. I'm going to see if I can heat this up and see if I can just pop the glass out. No guarantees I don't get burned here. Got the hot air gun at 200C. You probably don't hear a thing I'm saying, but I'm just going to try to heat this up. Hopefully I don't just shatter the glass. Nah, this is probably going to have to go off camera in Vice of Knowledge. So I totally missed the mark on this being ceramic. It's definitely plastic, but the texture on it, it just feels so ceramic-y. But anyways, yeah, I just nibbled the edge with a pair of pliers here. So I got the lens off. Now, the lens, I am quite excited to keep that because... Is it glass? No, this is plastic. This is plastic, definitely injected molded. And you can check that because you see those circles there. There's one right there. I don't know if you're in focus, but that's an ejector pin. So that actually gets ejected out of the mold, gets pushed this way. The LED is actually LEDs. It's 5 of them, and you can definitely see that one of these had a very bad day. Look at that. So that would be the shorted one. There's some wires here, which I'm just going to make sure there's no capacitor still charged. I mean, I didn't think so, but it never hurts to give it a shot. And we will pull the circuit board out. This is weird. I'm doing this freehand, so my apologies if it's garbage filming quality. One there. And one there. And let's pull this out. Seems like there's little pins here and here holding that in. There we go. A little bit of thermal compound around the edge. Is that glue? No, it's paste. And there's a little circuit board in there. Now, I'm going to get the circuit board out. Pull these pins. These pins are crimped. Yeah, there we go. To chop these off. 1 and 2. And here we go. So we've got 4 caps there. A little, either it's a choke or a transformer. We've got an inductor, a resistor, and another cap there. Interesting. I would say this is a choke or an inductor. Oh, no, never mind. There is active circuitry. That is a buck converter. Interesting. All right, I'm going to set this up so that the focus isn't so bad, and I'll bring you back. Just a little bit more handheld, I promise, and then we're going to have some fixed focus. If you look here, you'll see that inside this plastic, there is a section of aluminum which has been cast. The plastic has been cast over it. You can tell that because you see it didn't actually cast evenly. See that line goes down, the white, and it goes up. So yeah, that aluminum there is for heat sinking, and that's why there's thermal compound. Well, there was thermal compound before I cleaned it on the back of this heat sink or this PCB. So that's one thing. Another interesting thing is that these LEDs are all in series. So the positive here comes right around, and I'm doing this from memory because I can't actually see this far. So the positive here goes across this LED, across this LED, and then across this LED in diagonal. So this pad actually comes up this way, and then this pad comes this way, and then across this, and down to negative. So it's actually 5 of them in series. That would explain why it didn't light anymore, because this one here, if they're all in series, this one here is open. The other ones won't light. Also, it shows you right here that it's in 5 in series, 1 in parallel, so there's no parallel pairs or anything like that. So if these are 3 volts, it should be about 15, 3 each should be about 15 volts across all of them. We'll check that in a moment. Another thing I want to show you is this crusty solder. They have a hard time soldering onto this board, hand solder, that is, the wires, because they're not going to run, solder these wires with the reflow machine. These things are reflowed, but not these. So, they're not running a tip with enough mass to heat up this aluminum, or they're not preheating the aluminum. That's the point of these boards, but you have to preheat them to get good solder joints. These, not so great. Got some test leads here to try to turn on these LEDs, and I was wrong. It's not a single LED in each package. It's actually 3 LEDs in series, because the lowest amount of voltage I can get them to turn on with is 8 volts. So there we go. So that's 8 volts. That's not even registering for current. But at 9 volts it comes on very bright. So that one's good. I'm not sure of the polarity of these because I already forgot when I traced them out. That one's good. That one's going to be reversed. Nope, that one's good. Middle one's going to be a little bit hard. Let's see. I do have a current limit in case I short circuit something. So don't worry too much about that. Can't get the probes in there. Let's see if this one works. Oh, this one works. This one's not even the bad one. This one must be the bad one. Then what's that junk on the LED? Whoa. Whoops. I shorted them. Oh, I think it is short. I think the LED failed short. Impossible when I poke this. No, I'm not. I don't know, but that one isn't turning on. Interesting. Well, the other ones are, so it must be that one. The center one that is bad. But why is there like solder on top of this? Oh. No, I just scraped it off. Okay. Well, that LED is dead. Interesting. Well, the plot thickens. That is 40 volts, not even registering for current. They're all turning on. Duff power supply probably. So I guess I'm saving this board and this, and I can probably put a boost converter and just use these two as is. Interesting. going to try my best Big Clive impression, but if you want a better breakdown of a circuit board, you'll have to go onto Big Clive's channel. But on this one here, these two green wires, that's the AC voltage in. This first component is a fusible resistor. It goes right on the input here. So that resistor, which is brown-black, which is 1, 0, and then brown, which I would think multiplies it by 10. So it's a 100 ohm resistor with a plus minus 5%, the gold band. It feels really high for an input resistor, but for like a fusible resistor. But hey, I mean, I'm just reading it here. You've got a bridge rectifier here, so that'll turn the AC into DC. You got a little chip here. I wrote it down. I think it's an MT7880, something like that. I wrote it down. I'll show you shortly. Then you got a whole bunch of passives here. You got a diode at the end here. You've got this are the input capacitors, and it seems like this inductor is also on the input, if I'm not mistaken. I will bring the circuit in shortly. Then you've got a relatively large electrolytic capacitor here, 47 microfarad, 100 volts. And you've got a little inductor here, another one. So, that being said, let's bring in the datasheet, and I'll try my best to show you what they've done here. So here is the datasheet for this device. Usually up here it's the marketing wank, but you can definitely see that it is for an LED driver. I put my Google Lens on top of this to see to see the translation, and you know, it's a lot of the standard stuff, but this is the important part here. This is our circuit. And so if we start from this end, the voltage in AC, there is no fusible resistor here, so you can definitely add a fusible resistor here on either side. Doesn't really matter because a GU10 is agnostic to the direction it's installed. So fusible resistor there, which is this. Then we've got the bridge rectifier here, which is this. Then you've got capacitance to ground, which you've got 3 in parallel here. The reason it's 3 in parallel and not one big one is that it has to fit down the throat of the casing. So that's that. So those are those capacitors there. Then you've got passives, which I probably won't going to point out because I'd have to zoom in the camera big time. But there's the chip there. It's the MT7882. This is the data sheet for MT7832A. But as far as I can tell, it's about the same thing. Basically, the pin assignments, the important ones at least, are, let's see here, VDD, that's our positive power, which makes a lot of sense coming in from the bridge rectifier. Ground is coming low, the other side of the bridge rectifier over here. So that's positive and ground. Then we've got drain is pin 5 and 6. Okay, that is for the MOSFET, and then CS is your source. So this will actually be powering the LEDs over here. You know, they'll have LEDs, a whole bunch of them in series over that way. Okay, but if you look here, it actually goes through an inductor, and that inductor is here. That's that inductor right there. So that's that one, and then you've got this one, the capacitor to give to smooth out the voltage spikes, and that would be this one here. Big capacitor C4 would be this one. Then R6, you got a discharge resistor, which is right over here. Again, you probably can't see that, but there is a resistor there. The value of that resistor, however, is 513. That's 5130, 51K resistance here. This pin here is another pin of note, the D-sen. That one actually senses the voltage through a voltage divider, which is either this pair, or this triplet here. I'm not 100% sure. I think this triplet up here is actually to discharge the caps. So it would be one of these pairs here. So basically, if you change the resistor R3 or R4, so one side or the other, it'll give you more or less voltage, more or less current essentially, to your LEDs. Because LEDs, when you vary the voltage, you can control the current, or you can control the current, which will vary the voltage. One of the two. So yeah, relatively simple, and something in here pooped the bed. What pooped the bed? I'm not sure, because the LEDs all seem to work, can power it on with 40 volts. So something in here is NFG, and probably, if I were to guess, and obviously this is just a guess because this resistor is good, my only guess would be that this electrolytic cap, the ESR, isn't the same as it used to be, and that's making the power all spiky, which is giving weird feedback over on R3 and R4, and the chip is freaking out. I mean, I'm thinking so, but I won't actually know unless I take all this apart and go piecewise, which I'm not going to. So yeah, hopefully you learned a tiny little bit about how these LEDs work. I'm just glad that I have a new board and reflector or lens to play with. Should we pop an LED under this lens and see what it does? Yeah, let's do that. Hopefully you'll be able to see this well. I've got this either 1 or 3 watt LED. I won't be able to run it too long, but I have the lens from this LED, the one that I just tore apart, and I have a lens I bought specifically for these LEDs. So we're going to see what the beam pattern is in both those cases, and just with the little bead on top. I also have this, I think it's a 5 watt LED. We're going to try the same thing. So contact, so that's the beam for just the bead. There's the bead with the reflector, with the LED. Oh yeah, look. So that's the beam by itself. This one is much more focused. Nice. And then this one here, even more focused. So without, with, and then this one. Yeah, pretty neat. Let's set up the other one. Okay, gonna have to do this one quick though. Okay, this is with nothing at all, so obviously it's a flat, so you're not going to see too much. Okay, that one's definitely more focused. So without, with, and then this one, hard to say because it's swamping the whole thing. Let's go up in current just a little bit. I set 0.5, enter. That's half an amp, we're at 5 watts here. So without, okay, pretty spread. With, that's quite a bit more focused. And with this one here, yeah, it doesn't really work. You can see the individual diodes there. Yeah, no good. But at least we know that with these kinds of LEDs, that thing's going to be interesting. So yeah, hope you found that interesting. I know I didn't give it the old Big Clive treatment, but guess what? I'm not Big Clive. I explained it to you the way I understand it. He understands it a lot deeper than I do. But I still want to thank you for watching.